What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Gear Breaker, and this is where we give excellent assessment and reviews. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a 2014 superhero film serving as the second installment in the Amazing Spider-Man series. The film follows Peter Parker, who has to deal with the rise of a villain named Electro. This film is definitely a mixed bag all around because it definitely feels as if the producers, directors, whatever, it just was trying to cram so much into one movie that it just is just too convoluted. Now, the story for the most part is pretty good on several fronts. It just, the problem is with the film is that there was just too many stories being told. The main story is pretty much Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy going through their issues about their relationship, while at the same time Spider-Man has to deal with this recurring villain named Electro. It just takes the experience of immersion out of the film. I will admit that the performances are pretty good. Andrew Garfield kills it as Peter Parker, as well as Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, and you can tell that these two have a great relationship despite the fact that their love story is a bit back and forth at times. Foxx completely kills as Electro. I really liked his character, and you feel sorry for him. You can actually understand why he becomes the way he is. So if anybody I can empathize with more in this film, it is him. You got Dane DeHaan, he plays Harry Osborn, and he is a likable character. I do like his relationship with Peter Parker, and it's great that you see that these two guys are actually friends, and it feels authentic. So in terms of performances, they definitely pulled it off. I also have to give it to not only the visual effects of this film, but the cinematography. There are just so many beautiful and well-placed badass shots. Specifically, when Spider-Man is swinging through the city and he's doing all of these great stunts. I have to just admit, the movie is just looks extremely great. The action sequences are completely badass. Specifically, when it comes to the Spider-Man Electro fights, they are freaking awesome. It's just completely great to watch. Not only is it visually great, the film has an awesome soundtrack. The dubstep in this film is just phenomenal. It just brings a badass tone to this film. Electro, hands down, not only had a great presence visually, but his theme was completely badass too. Most of the issues of the film do have to do with the story, and because of the story was the way it was, it just wasn't able to flesh out things the way that it should have been fleshed out. For instance, we have three villains in this film. It's basically Electro, Rhino, and the Green Goblin. And for the most part, the film focuses on Electro as being the central villain of the film because the other two are pretty much shooting in. Now, for their storylines, it would be pretty interesting if the film actually introduced them, then later on in another film, then brought them out. Give the film credit for this. The Rhino sequence at the end of the film, I really was not bothered with him. I like the fact that he was introduced at the beginning of the film. I like the fact they kind of connected it in the middle of the film, and then at the end they brought him out, which I think was a great send-off to the movie itself. But the whole Green Goblin aspect felt like a Venom aspect in Spider-Man 3, where they shoehorned him in like the last 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, when they actually just should have just introduced him. Also, another aspect of the story which I think that they introduced but they didn't get a chance to elaborate on because of the villain arcs that they had in the film is the fact that Peter Parker was trying to discover what was up with his parents and how they died. I think the film definitely could have either taken that out and introduced it in another film, or elaborated on that more by taking out one of the villain arcs. And it just would have made for a more compelling story. As I said, the film suffers mostly due to the story and the overabundance of different plots that was going on in this film. Honestly, I did enjoy this film a lot more than I thought I would, especially Electro, which I will say, unfortunately, the film does not elaborate on enough to actually make you fully understand this character. The film does not give enough screen time to Electro's character. I would love to have seen more about his life and what drove him to act and see the world the way he does. In the end, The Amazing Spider-Man is a good film. It's definitely not without its faults. It's definitely got a lot of flaws, specifically when it comes to the story, but I have to say the performances were good. The action sequences were awesome. The music was just badass. The cinematography was just beautiful. This is an all-around beautiful film, and surprisingly enough, I have to say The Amazing Spider-Man 2 definitely deserves a 3 out of 5. I would have liked to have bumped the score up to at least a 4. It's just I did not get the chance to actually get to know who Max Dillon was as a character, rather than just rush him to be Electro. And alright guys, now in the comment section below, let me know, did you see The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and what did you think about it? Which one of the 3 central villains did you really like? Did you like Electro? Did you like the Green Goblin? Or did you like the Rhino? And remember guys, every Friday videos will be uploaded. Until the next edition guys of Gear Breaker Nation, and remember, keep those gears turning.